Good morning, students. How are you all? So now we are going to start up our first chapter from the part of definitely political science. So the name of the book is Democratic Politics. Now we are going to understand about the political function that is going on in our country in this book. As you had already going through with this part in your previous classes as well, so the same is going on in this class as well. So what is included in the power sharing? The first chapter that is related with this book is definitely the power sharing. Name is quite clear to you that we have to share down our powers. So what kind of power is going to be shared down, we will discuss down in this chapter, as something the political science is definitely related with the politics or the political parties. So definitely the power sharing is also going on in this manner. Okay, so we, as in India, we all are aware, as you had already read down in your previous classes, that we are following the democratic form of government. Okay, so the democratic form of government is definitely made up by the sharing of power, whether it is legislative, executive and judiciary. So the power is being shared down among different kind of authorities, that is legislative powers are there, executive powers are there and the judiciary powers are there. And we are going to understand the idea of power sharing with the help of two stories that is included in your book. That first one is related with the Belgium and the second one is definitely related with the Sri Lanka. Okay, so we are just going to understand the concept of power sharing by taking the example of these two countries, by sharing the stories of these two countries. So moving further, what happened? So Belgium and Sri Lanka, as we discussed down, we had discussed down what is included there. So Belgium is definitely a small country of Europe. Where does the Belgium is? It is in the Europe and the area is quite smaller in the Belgium even than the states of Haryana. Okay, so if I talk about what happened in the Belgium, definitely the Belgium is in Europe and the capital of Belgium is Brussels. And if someone asks you about the capital of Belgium, that is definitely the Brussels. And in Belgium, if I talk about 59% of people are there who is speaking Dutch. Okay, so you can able to see up from this table as well. So 59% of people are there in Belgium who are speaking Dutch, and these people are known as or belongs from which region? That these people belongs from the Flemish region. Which region? Definitely the Flemish region, and they are speaking Dutch. Okay, and if I talk about 40% people are there who are speaking French, and they are belonging from the Wallonia region. Which region they are belonging, you can able to see here as well. So Flemish region is there, from where the Dutch speaking people are belonging, that is 59%, and Wallonia region is there, that is 40%, and representing to the French speaking people. And if I talk about German speaking people, only 1% are there, that is German speaking. So what you came to understand from this part? So definitely what you realize from this part is that the Dutch speaking people, that is belonging from the Flemish region, are quite more than the French speaking people. So majority of people is definitely of the Dutch speaking. But if I talk about, as I told you earlier, which is the capital of Belgium, so Brussels is the capital of Belgium. So what happened in the Brussels? Brussels is completely different from the Belgium. So what happened in the Brussels? If I talk about, 80% people are there who are speaking French, and only 20% people are there who are speaking the Dutch. Dutch speaking people are quite less in the capital of Belgium. So the capital of Belgium is supporting the French speaking people. So definitely the power share is being light between them, and this leads to the quite much tension between the Dutch speaking and the French speaking communities during 1950s and 60s. The tension between two communities was more acute in Brazil. Brazil present a special problem. The Dutch speaking people consisted a majority in a country but minority in the capital. What happened at that time, that French people community was powerful and rich, and the Dutch community was in majority in the whole country. But if I talk about minority, so definitely the Dutch found a minority in the capital, that is Brazil. So this is the example of Belgium, and definitely the second example that we are going to discuss down in this session is of Sri Lanka. So what happened in Sri Lanka, if I talk about 74% people are Sinhala speaking, and Sinhala speaking people are considered as a Buddhist, and if I talk about only 18% are there who are speaking the Tamil, that is consisting of Hindus and the Muslim, and only 7% people are there who are Christian. So majority is definitely related with the Sinhala speaking people, that is Buddhist. Okay, so definitely the problem occurs with both these countries. So what kind of a problem occurs? So definitely somewhere there are majority of people, and somewhere you can able to see there are minority of people as well. So they have to find out the solution by. So what kind of solution they found out? As you can able to imagine, there is a problem of majority and minority. So just because no party or no community get disheartened or no community get less importance, the Belgian people start adopting the power sharing. So power sharing is being accepted in the Belgium. So what happened in the power sharing? Some powers are given to the German speaking people, and some powers are given to the definitely the French speaking people. And if I talk about the Brazil is accepting the powers sharing at the different level. Even the central government was there who is controlling the each and everything that is in the Brazil, but along with that there is state government as well who is controlling the functioning of the state. So they cooperate with each other. That is the reason behind a peace in the Brazil. But on the contrary, if I talk about Sri Lanka, the majoritism in the Sri Lanka start existing now. So what happened in the majoritism? Definitely the majority start getting the preferences. So as if I talk about Sri Lanka got independence in the country in 1948, and the leaders of the Sinhala communities sought to secure dominance. Okay, so they just started doing a majority basis system. So the majority is definitely, if I talk about in Sri Lanka, is of Sinhala speaking, that is Buddhist people. So Buddhist people, what they did in 1956, an act was passed to recognize Sinhala as an official language. They start making Sinhala as an official language. They denied the languages Tamil and Christian speaking people. So only the Sinhala is starting getting the importance just because of the majority. The majority of people are belonging from Sinhala. That is the reason the Sri Lanka is accepting the Sinhala as an official language, and even the government followed the preferential policies that favored Sinhala's government jobs. So the government is also doing the policies or making the policies only for the betterment of the people who are belonging from the Sinhalas, or we can able to see that only to the people who are Buddhist. Okay, so the government jobs are also being provided only to the people who know how to speak the Sinhala, because everything is going on in the favor of the majority. A majority is given on the preferences only, and the rest of the parties or rest of the communities are being denied down. Okay, a new constitution stipulated that state that shall provide a foster Buddhism. A constitution also support the Buddhism. Instead of supporting all the languages, instead of supporting all the communities, a constitution which is being made in the Sri Lanka is only supporting the Buddhism. Now what kind of impact is definitely on the Tamils, or what kind of problems are facing by the Sri Lanka just doing all such kind of things, because the Sri Lanka is starting giving preference to only one community, that is Buddhist, and the rest of the peoples are started denying in that particular place. Definitely the problems occur at that time period. So what kind of feeling that occurs in the mind of Sri Lankan Tamils? So definitely they felt that none of the major political party led to the Buddhist Sinhala's leader and sensitive and the language and the culture. So they demanded what the demand was given by the Tamil people. So they are just demanded that we want our different political parties. Along with that, they felt that the constitution and the government policies denied them equal political right. The constitution are taking their political rights, are taking their cultural rights from them. So all such kind of things are not being acceptable by the people who are Tamils. Okay, so they are just start thinking that their opportunities, their rights are started ignoring by the Sri Lankan government, because Sri Lankan government is only working for the betterment of the majority people, that is Sinhala. So the Tamil, is it create a feeling of oneness, or it create a destruction? So definitely it create a destruction when only one party is, or one community start getting importance and all the other community is getting negligence. So Tamil people said that Sinhala we considered is also an important language, but along with Sinhala you have to adopt it the Tamil language as well. So you have not been denied the Tamil language, but their demand is definitely being denied by the government. They are said that their demand are illegals and not at fuller extent. So all such kind of demands are being ignored by the Sri Lankan government, or we can able to say that Sinhala speaking people. So what happened after that? The civil war started occurring. A destruction between the two communities turns into definitely civil war. So what is the meaning of civil war? If I talk about a violent conflict between opposing group within a country that became so immense that it appears like a war. The violent conflict start occurring between both the countries. Okay. So if I talk about the ethnic, what is the meaning of ethnic? Definitely a social division based on shared culture. People belonging to the same ethnic group believe in their common descent because of similarities of physical type or a culture, or both. They need not only to have a same religion or the nationality. So definitely the in Sri Lanka, what happened? The civil war started down. So what is the reason of the civil war, and what are the main things which came out from the end? So what are the main outcomes that we find out from the civil wars? So definitely, as we all are aware with the fact that Sri Lanka is very much or have an excellent record in all the spheres, whether it is economic development, whether it is related with the education or the health one. Okay, but when the civil war occurred down, so the war is a complete destruction for each and everything. Now, so similarly, the excellent record of economic development, education and health was there, that has came to a terrible fall, and that has came to a great decline. Okay, but the civil war has caused to be a terrible setback to the social, cultural and economic life of the country, as it proved a very bad for our social, economic and cultural life of the people who are living in that country, and along with the people it is bad for the whole country as well, because whenever the war occurred, the people has to suffer down at the complete extent. It is not like now one party is suffering and other are facing luxuries. This is not happening in any of the area. So Sri Lanka is not able or not accepting the terms of power sharing. Sri Lanka is following on the norms of majoritism, and just because of this majoritism they have to suffer a lot. Okay, so moving further, the next one is related with the accommodation in the Belgium. So what kind of accommodation, what kind of, as we had know that Belgium start sharing the power, so the existence of regional differences and the cultural diversities was there between, if I talk about 1970 and 1993, they amended their constitution 4 times. They changed up their constitution 4 times from between 1970 to 1993, just to give equal importance, just to give equal rights to all the people, and just to give equal designation to all the communities. The arrangement they work out and the different from one any other is definitely for a very innovative. They have did all such kind of things in a very innovative manner. So what are the main things which is being accepted under their constitution, as constitution prescribed that the Dutch speaking people and the French speaking people is definitely equal at the central level. They are equal at the central level and at the central government, we are going to say. So the linguistic groups are being considered as not like the majority has given the more power and the minority is not being preferred. So equal powers are given at both the communities. Okay, so the members of the powers of the central government has been given to the state government, to the all the powers are being divided between the central government and the state government. So central government is definitely working at the center, and all such kind of other activities which are related with the state are being handled by the state government. So equality between the Brazil and the Dutch speaking people and the other are given in the central government representative. Apart from that, if I talk about central government and state government, there are 3 kinds of government. So what are those 3 kinds of government? So the first one is related with the legislative. The power sharing is being done under the horizontal power sharing is there. Vertical division of power is there. Power can be shared among the different on the social groups as well. So if I talk about the Belgium, which kind of things they are adopting down, the community government is elected people belonging to the one language community, that is Dutch, French and the German speaking, no matter where they live. Okay, so the government has a part to regarding culture, education and the language related issues. So whether it is that much, it is quite difficult, and that is the reason that they have to frame up their constitution for the 4th time. But now if I talk about present scenario, so in present time period, Brazil has their headquarter as well. So that has headquarter definitely in the European Union, because it is in the European areas. Okay, so moving further, now we are going to understand about the different types of power sharing. We had already know about the power sharing, but what are the main types of power sharing, which is very much important, and why the power sharing is very much desirable. Firstly, we will see what kind of power sharing is there. So how many types of power sharing is there, we are going to discuss that. As the first one is related with as power sharing among different organs of the government. So different organs of the government is definitely, as Indian government is further divided into 3 types. The first one is representing the legislative, the second one is representing executive, and the third one is representing the judiciary, as it is known as an horizontal power sharing. So what happen in that, in democracy, power is shared among the different organs of government, as we discussed down, the legislative, executive and the judiciary, and this is known as an horizontal distribution of power, because it allows different organs of the government placed at the same level to exercise different powers. So the different organs of the government are there, and they are exercising, or they are doing or practicing the power at the different levels, and the equal powers are given to them. And the second one is definitely related with the power sharing among government at the different levels. So what kind of power sharing at the different level with the government? If I talk about Indian government, so there are 3 types of government further. The first one is representing the central government, or we can able to say a union government. The second one is representing the state government, and the third one is representing the local government. So central government, we all are aware that work at the center. State government is working for the welfare of the state. All such kind of activities which is going on in state, or which is practicing in the state, is controlled by the state government. And if I talk about local government, so local government is definitely related relates with the government that we can able to see in the towns and the villages as well. So Gram Panchayat is there, municipalities are there, so they are working for that particular area, that particular local area. So moving further, the next type of power sharing is definitely the power sharing among different social groups. So social groups are there and they have been given an equal power. So what kind of, like if I talk about the religious groups are there, linguistic groups are there. Linguistic groups, religious groups definitely related with the religion, and linguistic group definitely related with the language. So the groups are being made with on the basis of the language. And if I talk about in democracy, especially in the multi-ethnic society, power is also shared among social groups such as that is religious or the linguistic, and the community government in Belgium is a good example of this arrangement. Even in some countries there are constitutional and the legal arrangement whereas socially weaker section and the women are represented in the legislature as an administration. Okay, the fourth one is representing the power sharing among political parties, pressuring groups and movements. So different political parties, if I talk about the power sharing also occur in the different political parties. So what are the benefits of that and what it is being pursued down, as democracy provides the citizen to a choice to choose their ruler. The choice is provided by the various political parties who is going to contest the election to win them. Such competition even ensures that powers does not remain in one hand. So the powers are given in the different hand. That is the reason a better democratic or a power sharing is also applicable in our country as well. So we had discussed down about the different types of or different forms of power sharing that is pursuing on in modern democracy. So what are the main advantages of these power sharing? As I'm going to take the example of horizontal. So what are the main advantages of horizontal power sharing? So definitely the powers are being shared among different organs of the government equally, and no unequal power sharing is being done in the horizontal form of government. And if I talk about horizontal power sharing places the organs of the government, that is legislature, executive and judiciary at the same level, and under this kind of a power sharing no organ can exercise unlimited power. No unlimited power is given to any of the person. All such kind of things are being checked by the community under the balance. All such kind of things are going on under the balance. Okay, so if I talk about the next type of power sharing, what are the main advantages of the power sharing of the government at the different level? So the central government is able to solve up the problems at the central level or the controlling the whole country, but it is quite difficult for the central government to check out what is happening in the state. So just to check out what is happening in the state or a particular state, because the India is a very much big country, so it is very much difficult for this one government to control each and everything. The little bit powers or some powers we can able to say are given to the state government. The state government is checking each and everything, and it is difficult for the state government as well to check out each and every city or each and every town. So the power is also given to the local government. Okay, so moving further, if I talk about why the power is being desirable, the presidential reasons for that. What is the meaning of presidential? So prudential reasons are for that. Okay, so what is the meaning of the prudential? Firstly, based on precedents, okay, or on the careful calculation of gain or losses, presidential decisions are usually contrasted with those decisions which are based purely on the moral consideration. So what are the main presidential reasons? And the second we will discuss down about the moral reason. The first is presidential reason. Definitely it is based on the careful calculation of gains and losses. For example, if I talk about in Nepal movement for democracy, even the Maoists are armed revolutionary group which were given some share after the formation of the government. The second one reason included it helped to reduce the possibility of conflict between the social groups, because the powers are being given equally to all the social groups, so definitely the conflict will decreases down. And if I talk about the prudential reason are good way to ensure political stability, as it ensures the political stability as well. It is not like that one party is giving the more importance, on the contrary other party is not giving a little bit concentration in the country as well. So equal powers are given to them, so definitely that is the reason to give up an equal stability in the country, to ensure a equal political stability, to ensure a better life in the country. Power sharing is very much necessary, or we can able to say a desirable. And even imposing the will of the majority community over the minority may look like an attractive option in a short run, but in a long run it determines a unity in the nation. Definitely if I am putting out the decision which is being taken by the majority on the minority, so it will not going to create our country a better country or make our country a better nation. So definitely it will adversely affect our unity and togetherness. So if I talk about the moral reasons, so what are the main moral reasons for that? So the moral reasons for that is definitely the power sharing is a spirit of democracy, and democracy rules involve the sharing of powers which those affected by the exercise and those who have to live in the effect. And if I talk about decentralization of power, that is formation of state government, local governments are the example of the moral reasons. Okay, so democratic government is chosen by the people, so they have the right to consult on how they are to be governed. So the people, they are answerable to the people only. So these are the main benefits of the power sharing, or the necessaries we can able to say why the power sharing is that much necessary. These are the main reasons for that. In the Khalil's dilemma, nothing is much important is given, just an example is taken down of Vikram and Betal. So you have to read this example by yourself, as it is also showing that how much power sharing is quite necessary and important one. Okay, so what we discussed down in this chapter, I hope it is quite clear to you. As we started down with the introduction of the chapter, further we came to know about the reasons or the benefits of the power sharing by taking the examples of the two country. One country is accepted the power sharing and other country denied the power sharing, and he has to face a lot of problems and he has to face a lot of destruction. They faced a lot of destruction just because they are unable to, or they does not agree to share up the powers. So first we take down the example of Belgium, and the second one is representing the Sri Lanka. So Belgium, capital of Belgium is Brussels, and majority if I talk about in Belgium is definitely of Dutch speaking people, but if I talk about the capital of Belgium, so majority is of French speaking people. So that is the reason we can able to say that they cope up with each other, they agree with the policies of each other which is being made down, and they started working collectively, and their constitution is framed down at the fourth time. Okay, so after four time they changed down their constitution, and finally they accepted that, and that constitution is accepting the involvement of both the community. It is not like the involvement of one community is more and other community is less. So they share down the powers. Further we came to know about the Sri Lanka. Sinhala speaking peoples are in majority, so the Sri Lanka is accepting the majoritism. So only the majority people are giving more preferences, rest of the people are not even indulging or not even giving the importance at all. So moving further, we came to know about accommodation in the Belgium, and further we came to know about why the power sharing is desirable, or we can able to say why the power sharing is that much necessity. Here we came to know about prudential reasons and the moral reasons. Along with that, we had discussed down about the different forms of power sharing or different types of power sharing. The first one is representing the power sharing among different organs of the government, that is horizontal power sharing. The second one is related with the power sharing among government at the different levels, that is union level, state level, local level, or you can able to say central level, state level and local level. Further, we came to know that the power sharing among different social groups is being down there, and power are given to those social groups. And at last we came to know about the power sharing among political parties, and definitely when the power sharing will be there between the different political parties, that results in the betterment of the countries. Okay, so hope you are clear with the chapter, what we discussed down in the chapter. So now your homework is that you have to watch down the video carefully, and after watching the video you have to make the notes from this chapter by yourself, and definitely you will get the notes from my side as well. So you have to complete that as well on your fair notebook.